Yo, guys, what's going on? I'm gonna get myself more in the middle here. Today, we are gonna be talking about Carlos Prates versus JDM. Just the main event. There's some good fights. Actually, I'll talk about Killian Salkild versus Dariush. I'll go over that pretty shortly right now. Um, Benil's gonna get slimed. Benil's good. He's actually on a one fight win streak, but I still only know him as the guy that's gonna get slimed. Sorry, I literally just forgot that I got a mic now. But anyways, um, I think Benil's probably gonna get slimed. Killian doesn't seem to have any like respect with people he faces. He's gritty. I mean, like he's such a proven prospect at this point that you really can't like discredit him anywhere. He had a gritty war with Yanal Ashmouz. He head kicked Nazrat Hakparas on like 2 weeks' notice, which is a really good win. He hasn't fought like anyone like that's really durable or like really tough and highly skilled. But I don't think Benil's really either of that at this point. So I just don't think he has much to worry about. I think he could get it done by decision because he does fight hard. But I also think he's probably just gonna knock him out. Benil's good, but he just seems to get caught on the chin a lot, and he's shinny now. So, I mean, it's like if you're getting hit often and you're getting chinned, yeah, you're beating Moicano, and Moicano's good. He's still good, but I don't really just see a world where Benil's gonna be able to stop him on the feet or on the ground. Not to mention, and like this going forward, I want this to be mentioned more when Killian fights. He's a fucking huge lightweight. In his January fight against that Australian guy, like the other Aussie, I don't know his name. I can't remember. Holy fuck, he looked absolutely massive against him. So I've got killing by destruction. Benil slime out. You know what I mean? Like ain't nothing new. We'll move on though. Anyways, Prates versus JDM. This is the one I wanted to talk about. This fight is awesome. So if you really look and you break these guys down, they both have like one loss in their UFC career now. JDM to Makachev and Prates to Ian Gary. So I am gonna go with JDM, and I think it's gonna be tough early, especially. But my main reasoning is the Prates loss to Ian Gary. I don't know if Ian Gary's better than JDM or if JDM's better than him, but the one thing you can take away from his loss is their welterweight skill. The problem with Islam engaging his JDM's loss is Islam comes from a different division, so we don't know how Islam's performances over the next few welterweights are going to look like, right? So it's really hard to really take much away when, especially because Islam, all he really did was grapple. He did land some good leg kicks, but it's like once again it's completely different when you're fighting a wrestler. Like you do just end up getting tagged, and yeah, he just had JDM worried about the takedowns too much, and it's Islam Makhachev. I don't blame JDM for being worried. So it is hard, and you kind of just have to gauge JDM's last performance against Bilal and judge it off that, and judge it off the Gilbert Burns win and stuff like that. And anyways, like I was saying, the one thing I take away from the Carlos Prates lost to Ian Gary, sorry, I think is his lack of like mid-fight improvement. I know like the fighting nerds are known for being like very technical or very like analysis wise. They had nothing to change the direction of that fight. Ian Gary gassed in the fifth, so I know people are gonna say like, "Oh, what Prates took the fifth round." Ian Gary took that fight on very short notice, so I really think that was just an issue of his gas tank and not Prates making an improvement. And Prates still lost. He didn't like find the finish, and he looked really awkward. That's one thing I want to say is he looked really awkward when he was trying to find that finish. Not like a lack of confidence, but he didn't know how to find it. And I think that's another thing with Prates is he unless he puts you flat out, he doesn't know how to like TKO you properly. Maybe that's just me, but that was something I saw in the fifth round after rewatching that fight. He didn't really know, like he didn't see a good finish there, and I think that could have been there for him, just how tired Ian Gary was. But anyways, yeah, my main point is he doesn't really improve in the later rounds, or they didn't have an effective game plan when they were losing. And I think that's really worrying with Jack de la Maddalena, knowing that he does seem to do better and grit harder in the later rounds as well. But my main like point is if JDM can get in on the inside and hit Carlos Prates and get out without being hit, he's going to be able to do that a lot. Ian Gary was able to back up Prates however he liked, and then that never changed until he gassed out. So JDM, when he puts pressure, and if he's able to effectively get on the inside, not with kickboxing, but with his boxing, I think he will clip Prates. So I'm going with JDM by a like club and sub. How I think it's gonna happen is it's almost gonna look like the Holloway versus Taporia KO, where he finds the inside, they get that like little awkward clash, and he just gets the left hook on him, and that's just how I see it happening. Um, I do think it is going to get scrappy though. In the early rounds, they'll test each other, and Prates is obviously going to be Prates. He's going to throw some wild shit, and they might like drop one of each other. But I think ultimately JDM's just a lot more technical, and he can make those improvements in mid fight and change. I know Islam, he couldn't figure it out, but that's literally Islam. Like it's so hard to gauge off different divisions and different skill levels, especially when we never see welterweight or lightweights move up. The only reason other than that is I think Mytek Orobai. We have also Joel Alvarez, and they're just dominating their guys. So it's hard. It's really hard to gauge so far. We've never really seen a lightweight struggle moving up to welterweight yet. But yeah, I think JDM's gonna clip him like that, but I don't think Prates is gonna like go out. I think he's just gonna hit the floor. He's gonna be off balance, and I think it'll be similar to like that Randy Brown where he just jumps on the rear naked, jumps on some sort of sub, and gets him out of there. Um, but I could be wrong. I could also see him doing it by decision because Prates does kind of have a chin on him. Um, but I think at the end of the day, if he can get in on that inside, um, I think it's his for the taking, and I think he can win the rounds. I also want to say Prates is pretty low output in his fights. I know he's like obviously a KO artist, but he really doesn't throw that much with intention. Um, he does have good lead elbows, which I think is kind of scary for JDM. I saw that lead elbow into the spinning, like obviously on Jeff Neal, and that's where I was like, damn, like JDM with his head movement that could get him caught, but you've got to think the amount of tape on like JDM. The most obvious thing is like don't get hit with a knee when we're coming in, like be really safe with our head movement, and the next thing is obviously watch for the elbows, like. I know I that's like how casuals look at it to me is like, oh, he's gonna, JDM moves his head a lot. And Prates throws that knee, man. That's gonna catch him right in the middle when JDM's doing his head move. I don't think so because that's literally like fucking plan plan A. Like when the first thing they do that tape work is like, okay, we're a head movement focused fighter. Let's make sure we know how that knee looks, like what he does, what he feints before. Like I'm sure that's tape work. Maybe I'm wrong because MMA, MMA has goofy coaches and still a new sport, but that's what I'd hope. That's what I do. Um, because Prates is pretty readable. He does a lot of the same thing. Not like in the sense that like he just goes for the same thing every time, but he is a very like Muay Thai focused fighter, and if you can just really hone in on his feints and certain things that he throws, I think JDM can do. I think JDM is very technical, and I think his ground game's good too, and that's kind of why I think he's gonna go for like a sub if he gets it. He just is a finisher. The way I describe them is JDM is like a finisher where if he smells blood in the water, he'll get it, and Protez is like a put you out one and done, but he can't find a like blood in the water finish. And I think that favors JDM a lot because when you're able to put that much damage on anyone, and JDM does do that, he puts a lot of damage on people. Um, I think he will get in on Protez, get in consistently, and then find that finish, smell that blood in the water. I would go round 3, 4, or 5. Um, I think in the first two, they're both going to be a little hesitant, especially JDM, just because Protez he does have the knees, and you do want to be just extremely careful and just like see what type of fight you're gonna get into before you actually start throwing risky shots and whatnot. So I got JDM round 3, 4, 5, and yeah, I'll drop a Strickland video next soon. um, I don't know if I can get that nutrition because I hate working with Cap Cut, the nutrition video. I don't know if I want to get that going, but I could get a aggressive cut versus calorie deficit. So I do want to start like fitness and nutrition videos. I just don't really have all that figured out. But the next video I think will be Strickland Hamzat, and then after that, I'll get the aggressive cut versus controlled deficit. That's something I'm working on. You guys will see later. All right, see you guys.